Picture this. The year is 2035. A minor border skirmish in the South China Sea explodes in seconds. But there are no pilots making gut-wrenching split-second calls. No frantic shouting between aircraft carriers and command centers. Instead, an AI commander, processing data 1,000,000 times faster than you or I, analyzes the threat and unleashes a swarm of autonomous drones. Before the human chain of command can even grab a cup of coffee and convene, the battle is over. The machines have already made their lethal choice. This isn't a sci-fi movie pitch anymore. This is the new reality we're hurtling towards. A reality where the speed of war is no longer limited by human thought, but by the speed of light, where life or death decisions get outsourced to an algorithm. We are standing on the edge of the most profound and maybe the most terrifying transformation in the history of conflict. The real question is no longer if artificial intelligence will dominate warfare, but what will be left of our humanity when it does. Section 1, the new arms race. That whole scenario, a battle decided in moments by machines, might feel like it's decades away. But the groundwork for that future isn't being laid in some distant tomorrow. It's being built right now in the labs and testing grounds of the world's biggest powers. We are living through the first chapter of a new, silent arms race. It's a race not for more tanks or bigger ships, but for something invisible and infinitely more powerful, algorithmic superiority. This isn't just another upgrade, it's a complete shift in how wars are fought, a change as fundamental as the invention of gunpowder or the splitting of the atom. The competition is global, but the main event is the escalating rivalry between the United States and China. Both nations see AI as the absolute key to future military dominance and are pouring billions of dollars into its development. The US Department of Defense's 2024 strategy puts a huge priority on AI to maintain decision superiority on the battlefield, and it's overseeing more than 685 AI-related projects. And across the Pacific, China is moving at a breathtaking pace. Beijing's national strategy explicitly calls for intelligentized warfare as a core part of its military modernization. Their stated goal is to have a world-class military by the middle of the century, and they see AI as the fast track to get there. There are reports, for example, of Chinese AI models that can generate thousands of complex wargaming scenarios in a fraction of the time it would take human commanders. A leading PLA newspaper put it bluntly: the old principle of winning through tactics will be replaced by winning through algorithms. This isn't just a two-country show, though. The war in Ukraine has become a brutal, real-world laboratory for AI in combat. We've seen AI-assisted drones that can distinguish between real tanks and wooden decoys, even when their communications are being jammed. In the Middle East, AI algorithms have reportedly been used to sift through mountains of surveillance data to identify thousands of potential targets, compressing a process that once took hours into mere minutes. This is the new reality. The age of AI warfare hasn't just begun, it's already drawing blood. The arms race is on, and the finish line is a future where the line between the soldier and the software starts to disappear completely. Section 2. The AI Arsenal explained. So, what does this new kind of war actually look like? When we talk about AI on the battlefield, we're not talking about a single killer robot from a movie. We're talking about a web of interconnected technologies that are changing every single part of combat. A good way to understand this is through a military concept called the kill chain. It's the basic structure of an attack broken down into steps: find, fix, target, track, engage, and assess. AI isn't just improving one link in this chain, it's supercharging every single one, shrinking the time it takes to go from spotting a threat to taking it out from hours or minutes down to mere seconds. Let's start with find and fix. This used to mean intelligence analysts staring at grainy satellite images and drone feeds for hours on end. Now, imagine an AI that can analyze live video, sift through petabytes of data, from spy satellites to social media posts, and pick out patterns and targets that a human analyst would almost certainly miss. Once a target is found, you get to target and track. This is where autonomous drones and swarms steal the show. We are seeing everything from small quadcopters being used with terrifying precision to advanced unmanned fighter jets being developed in the US. But the real game changer is the idea of the swarm. Don't think of one drone, but 1,000, all coordinated by a single AI mind. They aren't being piloted remotely. They're talking to each other, making collective decisions to overwhelm an enemy's defenses. A single, next-gen fighter jet could act as a quarterback, directing a swarm of cheaper, disposable drones on missions too dangerous for a human pilot. If one drone gets shot down, the swarm just adapts and keeps going. That is how you might defeat a billion-dollar air defense system, not with an equally expensive missile, but with 1,000 cheap, smart, and expendable machines. Next up is engage. This is the most controversial step, the moment the trigger is pulled. Right now, most systems are human in the loop, where an AI suggests a target, but a person has to give the final go. But the tech is quickly moving toward human on the loop, where the machine acts on its own unless a human supervisor steps in to stop it. And the final destination is human out of the loop, where the machine makes the entire life or death decision by itself. So-called kamikaze drones or loitering munitions are already blurring this line. They can be launched into an area and programmed to hunt for a specific type of target, like a radar dish, and strike without any final human input. Finally, all of this is managed by command and control. Think of it as the brain of the whole operation. Both the US and China are building massive AI-driven networks to manage the entire battlefield. The US military's ambitious project, known as CJADC-2, is designed to connect every sensor to every weapon, from satellites in space to submarines in the deep, into one unified network. It's a vision of a battlefield where data moves at machine speed, decisions are optimized by algorithms, and the pace of war accelerates beyond human comprehension. Section 3, the case for AI warfare, a necessary evil. Given how terrifying all this sounds, you have to ask, why are we building it? Why are the world's most powerful countries racing to hand over the keys of war to machines? The answer, according to supporters, is a strange paradox. They believe the path to peace is paved with the most powerful AI arsenal imaginable. It's the old Cold War logic of deterrence, just rebooted for the 21st century. For decades, the horrifying threat of nuclear mutually assured destruction arguably prevented a direct war between great powers. The argument for AI warfare follows a similar, unsettling line of thinking. If your military is so fast, so smart, and so overwhelmingly powerful that any enemy knows they'd be wiped out in minutes, they'll never risk starting the fight. War becomes unwinnable and therefore unthinkable. This is the philosophy of people like Palmer Luckey, founder of the defense tech company Anduril Industries. After selling his first company, Oculus VR, to Facebook, Luckey started Anduril with one goal: to rebuild America's military with autonomous, AI-powered weapons. He argues the US needs to build technology so superior that it stops aggression before it even starts. Anduril is building the very tools for this future: an unmanned fighter jet named Fury, the Roadrunner, a jet-powered interceptor that can autonomously hunt down and destroy enemy drones, and massive autonomous submarines designed to patrol the ocean depths for months without any human contact. To its advocates, this isn't about starting a war, it's about building a digital wall so imposing that nobody dares to climb it. Beyond that grand strategic argument, there's a more tactical one, that AI could actually make war more humane. Proponents claim machines can be more precise and less prone to the tragic errors that haunt human soldiers. A machine doesn't get tired, it doesn't feel fear or the urge for revenge. Its judgment isn't clouded by the fog of war. An AI could, in theory, process data from multiple sensors to confirm a target with a certainty a human soldier under fire never could, potentially reducing civilian casualties. Plus, these systems can take humans out of harm's way. Unmanned vehicles can clear minefields or deliver supplies to the front lines, both notoriously dangerous jobs. From this perspective, the goal isn't just to win wars, but to win them with fewer of your own people coming home in flag-draped coffins. The logic is compelling and deeply unnerving. In a world where conflict seems inevitable, maybe the only thing more dangerous than building these weapons is letting your adversary build them first. It's a race, they argue, that you simply can't afford to lose. Section 4, the terrifying. Questions when the machine is wrong. The case for AI in war is built on cold logic, speed, precision, deterrence. But that same foundation is sitting on a minefield of ethical and strategic risks so huge they challenge our whole idea of war and responsibility. The biggest debate is over meaningful human control. Everyone says we need it, but nobody can agree on what it actually means. The UN Secretary-General has urgently called for a legally binding treaty to ban lethal autonomous weapons that operate without human control, warning that we can't just leave humanity's fate to an algorithm. The debate boils down to a spectrum of autonomy. You have human in the loop, where a human gives the final command. Then there's human on the loop, where the machine acts on its own unless a person overrides it. And at the far end, human out of the loop, where the machine runs the whole show. As we move along that spectrum, the time for a human to make a decision shrinks from minutes to seconds to milliseconds until it practically vanishes. What does control even mean when a battle can be over before a human can process what's happening? This leads straight into a black hole of accountability. When a fully autonomous drone makes a mistake, when it misidentifies a school bus as a tank and acts on it, who's responsible? The programmer who wrote the code, the manufacturer who built the drone, the commander who deployed it, or the machine itself? Under international law, a person has to be held responsible for war crimes. But an AI has no legal status, no conscience, and no ability to be punished. We're creating systems with the power of life and death, but with no one to hold accountable when they get it wrong. And this isn't just a philosophical puzzle. AI systems can be brittle and unpredictable. They often operate as black boxes. Even their designers can't always explain the exact reasoning behind a decision. They are vulnerable to being fooled. An enemy could use techniques to corrupt the AI's training data or trick its sensors in the field. A tiny, imperceptible change to an image might be enough to make an AI classify a civilian car as a military target. But maybe the greatest danger of all is the risk of catastrophic escalation. The sheer speed of AI warfare could remove the single most important safety buffer we have in any conflict: time for human judgment, diplomacy, and de-escalation. Imagine a tense border where both sides have autonomous defense systems. A flock of birds or a simple radar glitch triggers one side's AI, which defensively fires on a perceived threat. The other side's AI instantly registers an attack and retaliates. Within seconds, a minor error could spiral into an all-out war, with humans reduced to helpless spectators. This kind of hyper-war, where humans are essentially taken out of the equation, could be triggered and finished before a president even makes it to the Situation Room. We are in the process of engineering human hesitation, the very thing that has pulled us back from the brink time and again, right out of existence. The questions we've touched on today aren't just for generals and politicians. They affect every single one of us. This technology won't just redefine the battlefield, it will redefine our world. If you want to keep exploring how technology is reshaping our future, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And let us know in the comments, where do you think we should draw the line on AI in war? Should a machine ever be given the power to decide who lives and who dies? Conclusion. So we're at a fork in the road, facing a huge paradox. Down one path, AI in warfare is sold as an inevitable, even necessary tool for security, a deterrent so powerful it might just make major wars obsolete. Down the other path, it's an existential risk, a technology that could lead to devastating errors, erase accountability, and put the world on a hair trigger ready to spiral into conflict at the speed of light. The thing is, both of those futures are possible. The technology itself is neutral. What really matters are the rules we build around it and the limits we're brave enough to set. Countries are already debating these issues at the United Nations, but the talks are slow, and the technology is advancing far faster than our collective wisdom. One thing is for sure, the very nature of conflict, which for thousands of years has been defined by human decisions, human courage, and human error, is changing forever. We are building the most powerful and sophisticated tools in history. We are designing machines to make the most consequential decision of all, the one between life and death. The only question left is whether we will control them, or if, in the end, they will control us.